Lavoe Show. If you can hear me all the way, I apologize. We're still doing the live stream, so shout out to all my listeners. Shout out to all the people watching on the live. Y'all know we had some technical difficulties. Trying to get to trying to get to where we at, and I hit the rig. Trying to get to this nice, comfy spot where we could do the stream and we could do the podcast all at the same time, so we can get people to come in and do their thing and talk and whatnot. And that's what we're here to do, is to talk and to help each other. And Cleopatra was from Greece. There. Today's show is over. I'd like to thank all my sponsors. Nah, but we so there was this post about Rihanna being Cleopatra. Oh, we're just gonna jump right into it. First, go down to klavo.com. Check out what we got going over there. Listen to the music. Hit once on the stream. If you ain't heard my music, peep it. It's all over there. I got a book on there that I made. There's merch on there. Make sure you check out my sponsor, Popl. That's popl.co. It's a digital business card. It's a chip, and you scan it with your phone, and then it takes you to. It'll take other people to your websites, to your social medias. It'll give them your phone number. They could text you, email you, things of that nature. And in this post-corona world, it's the best way to really communicate with other people and avoid the whole corona thing, because everybody's like, don't touch. So go to popl.co, popl.co, use Kasabian Lavoe at checkout, saves 20%. So let me help you be a new business person and save some money. It is so hot with these lights. All right, hold on. We gonna change these lights, or I'm gonna turn that big-ass studio fan on. Hold on. It's so far, but it's so loud. Like, it doesn't make no sense. It's one of them big ass box ones. We keep way in the back. Anyway, it's mad far, I promise. What else we gotta talk about? Make sure you go to klavo.com. Make sure you guys check out Popl. Shout out to all the podcast listeners, first time listeners, last time listeners, new listeners. Shout out to the haters. We appreciate y'all too. Shout out to everybody that's here to learn something. Shout out to everybody that's here just to peep, man, talk some shit and then bounce. We appreciate y'all. We fuck with y'all. We're trying to transition into doing just the podcast and to having more of an interactive show with everyone, so that we can, really grow and evolve and change how we do this thing. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to myself for being here today, because it's been a rough fucking day. Where to start, right? I mean, we just get to it. ACB. We're going to start calling her that. That's Amy Cohen Barrett. She was sworn in, and this is a big deal. She was confirmed. She's now a justice, and that's a lifetime role. It is a very big deal, and to people that have had a hard time accepting her, it's understandable for certain people that believe the rhetoric of this person being an evil person or something, but that's not the case. Although she, for some reason, conservative means you're the fucking devil. It's so strange, right? So with her being in there, we now have a very conservative what is it, 19 or 9? Of course, I'm gonna draw a blank right before the show. Either way, there's more conservatives than there are liberals in the court system right now. And rule wise and law wise, I mean, I don't really care to which side they lean, as long as they follow the law and they don't interpret it one-sided. I'm a conservative, so I might have bias, but my bigger issue would be character and who we dealing with. She's a person that's adopted children. She has 5 children, 7 total. 2 are adopted. She's a mother. She has an amazing background. Like, if you look at everything she's done, her handling of the law is very impressive, and she's stern. She's not somebody who's gonna get stepped all over, and I really think that she can make a big change and uphold the Constitution, which is what we need in the court system. And here's a statistic, and I don't know if it was real or not, but somebody told me this, and I was kind of blown away. But he said, if we just enforce the laws, we would get rid of 90% of the problems just by enforcing the laws. somebody like ACB, because we don't like AOC, so somebody like ACB can do that, and we'll see what she does, and hopefully it's historic and it's a big deal. Let me see what else is going on. Okay, you know what? The Chelsea Handler thing pisses me off, because who the fuck does Chelsea Handler think she is? Like, can we keep it a buck? There's been people in Hollywood that have gotten fucking exiled and completely fucking, their lives have been ruined for less. Chelsea Handler had the nerve to say that she had to remind 50 Cent he was black. Like, who the fuck do you think you are to remind 50 Cent? 50 Cent, yo, you thought you needed to remind 50 Cent he was black. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all think about that one. Shout out to Cookies. This flavor right here is schmacks. I would love for Cookies to make, matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if we gonna get back into Chelsea, but it's really been pissing me off. Let me see if this works. Cookies, make this in the indoor, whatever the fuck. We gonna post that shit later. That's hilarious. I just want to get some free marijuana for the show. Can you blame me? Don't blame me. So Chelsea Handler had the audacity to feel like she needed to help 50 Cent remind himself who he was by saying that you can't vote for Trump because you're black. Like, that's crazy. Like, the skin color of any person should not determine how they decide on anything. Like, we got to get rid of that bullshit. And we got people like Chelsea, who literally has had a career based on her being a fucking sponge to everything around her, and not in the best of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, she says that white privilege is why she's where she's at. Good for you. I really don't care either way. I just don't feel like you should be going around telling people what to do in that aspect, because although you're a comedian, this shit came off asinine as fuck. And honestly, if it was anybody else, I think they would chop her fucking head off, like in the hypothetical fucking way. You know, we ain't talking about hurting nobody, but it's unfair that she's able to say, have a statement like that and nobody fucking reprimand her. Like, everybody's like applauding her, like she did a fucking service by telling 50 Cent to vote for fucking, to not vote for Trump. She's out of a fuck. And then she offered pussy so that he wouldn't vote for Trump. So isn't that prostitution? Like, you can't do that shit. She don't even got like an OnlyFans. Like, usually when they say that type of shit, there's an OnlyFans link. You know what I'm saying? So Chelsea Handler is probably the definition of what's wrong with America. Chelsea Handler is the type of white person that screams Black Lives Matter but don't even know why they saying it. There's no solution to what they're doing. They're just going around exacerbating the situation that they believe that they've created or caused. And it's like, yo, Chelsea Handler's a Jewish person. Why is she acting the way that she acts around people? Like, yo, Jewish people have gone through so many things in this world. Why do you feel like, why are you being a white apologist when Jewish people went through what they went through fucking 100 years ago, bro? Like, it was right then. This shit was not too long ago. There's people with the tattoos still. So, you know, that's my problem. Like, be a part of the solution. And how can you be a part of the solution? Well, how about you put money into neighborhoods that need it and you help with education? Because the biggest fucking issue that we have is education. That's it. Stop trying to fix the hood. The hood will always be the hood because it's a starter. It's where you start at. And when you know, in life, you're not going to live in the mansion first. You're going to start somewhere little and build up. Now, could they use money for cheaper utilities to have, you know, better homes? Could they use money for better schooling? You know, that leads into conversations that we've had before, but I mean, you just don't sit around and bitch about things and then feel like you're the fucking solution by showing us your fucking grand life when you have a Spanish maid and a fucking black driver, and I think it was another Spanish, or he looked like he might have been Asian, I wasn't sure, but like she literally had like a plethora of minorities working for her. Like, overpay them. You know, there's no law that says you can't overpay, right? Like, if I'm uber rich and I hire somebody and they said they want $100,000 salary, but I got so much money to burn, I'm gonna pay you $250 a year just because I can. You see, she don't do that, but she's gonna cry and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm so rich because I'm a white chick from Jersey." Like, that's crazy. Like, she had a whole documentary on Netflix about how she basically exploited her whiteness for success, and then she went around and like did this weird ass shit where a bunch of people were like, "Fuck you, white lady, you don't know shit about shit." And she was like, "Oh man, I'm so glad they had criticism and they called me a piece of shit. That made me feel better inside. Like, yo, Chelsea Handler's a fucking maniac. That shit, it's disgusting. And if we don't accept that type of shit from anybody, like, I don't understand why is it okay for her to do it. Like, bro, it's there's been a lot of shit. It's funny because certain people can get canceled and certain other people just, we don't do it. Oh shit, we don't do it. We just let it be. This one ain't okay. This blatant racism. That's fucking blatant racism. Like, it is what it is. You want to talk about racism? That's fucking racism. All right, like, that shit don't change. That shit is not sweet. It's not funny or none of that. That's the craziest shit I've seen in a long time. And the fact that nobody has fucking jumped out there and said, hey, this is bullshit is beyond me. You know, the internet ran stories about prostitutes pissing on a bed that Obama slept in, that Trump hired prostitutes to piss on a bed that Obama slept in. They ran that story with no proof, no evidence, no nothing. It was a made up dossier. And they ran it. Like, I mean, they ran the fuck out of it. Right now, there's a laptop that got left behind that has pictures of Beau Biden or whatever Biden it is smoking crack. Yo, smoking crack, like literally on his laptop, breaking down the glass dick, bow, cracking it off. They don't want to run that story. They said that's propaganda. That's fucking ridiculous. There's like fucking evidence. Like, it's right there. It's a laptop. He took it to a repair place. He left it, never paid for it. When they opened it up, they went to clear it. They saw that shit. They were like, oh, we need to turn this into the FBI. The FBI got the laptop and said, we're not going to say nothing to Trump. We don't want to bring this up right now because he's going to use it against Biden. What the fuck, bro? That doesn't make any sense. You have literally shit on Trump for every fucking movie he's made talking to anybody outside of the United States. The Bidens are doing it. Like, that kid made millions of dollars for working for a fucking energy company, and he has no background in energy. The only thing he has is his last name, Biden. Somebody help me understand that. That's corruption. That's corruption. And when Trump called up to Iran, they tried to, they halfway impeached Trump on a phone call to Iran to ask about what happened with Biden and his kid. And this was it. This bullshit. It never ends. The debate happened, and honestly, I couldn't have been more excited. Like, that shit was awesome. The debate was solid because, believe it or not, like, telling Trump to shut up for a second was a good thing. Like, Donnie talked too much, bro. My boy don't know when to stop. So it's good to let him stop because you let Biden talk himself in circles and end it all. You know, there's a couple times where Trump was like, yo, the cages. Who built the cages, Joe? How you got houses, Joe? There's mad questions that people don't ask. You know, I posted the other day, my goal is to get politicians to make a living wage of $15 an hour because I don't think they deserve to live any better life than anybody else. There's people that are struggling and they're homeless right now, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of tax people. I mean, half of the budget that we're out here paying, let me not say half, but there's a portion of our budget that we budgetize every year, which is to pay these fucking people out of our pockets from our hard work. We give them money to work for us, and this is the shit they're doing. Yo, Nancy Pelosi was dancing with Chinese people in Chinatown in San Francisco saying, no, don't be afraid of Chinese people because they don't have the virus. And it wasn't even about Chinese people. That's not the point. You was out there telling people to just listen to whatever the opposite of whatever Trump was saying to go do. Trump literally stopped flights from China because of what was going on. And she's in Chinatown going, nah, go hang out in Chinatown. Like, that's racist. That's racist. You know that, right? Like, her comeback was, I'm going to go hang out with some Asian people, some Chinese people, and show you all my Chinese friends. Like, come, y'all don't see that? Like, once again, do we allow this shit or do we just say, it's just Nancy being Nancy? Like, I don't get it. Oh, my bad. Wrong one. Yeah, I don't get that. That shit blows me away. Like, because he said something, she did something else. But I mean, the hypocrisy is that you're outside fucking about when Corona is like at its fucking thriving fucking moment. Thank God she didn't get it because she's old as fuck and she might pass from that type of shit. Like, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. And I hate the fact that anybody died from it. I wish we could have done something better, but I think we handled it as best we could. Who did build the cages, Joe? You know, Obama deported more people than I think any president. It was over like 80,000. Some crazy ass number of people he got rid of. And to no avail. Like, Obama did things in front of y'all faces and then fucking covered it up by saying, oh, I'm going to help you, and hope. But that was never the case. You know, and Biden's excuse for why they couldn't get shit done was because they had to go against the Republicans because the Republicans held the House. And Trump has had the same shit with the Democrats, and he's still getting shit done. So I don't want to hear it. Your fucking job is to convince people. Do your job. And if you're helping people, then why is it so hard to do your job? The idea for the cages, the idea for splitting families up, the idea for all the shit that's going on in the border, honestly stems from us just not having. Okay, we have a path to citizenship. Like, I hope that's understood. Like, there is a path. It's just shitty, and it needs to be revamped and done better. I don't want nobody to leave that's been here 30 years. That's fucking preposterous, and honestly, anybody that believes that you should be fucking kicked out of a country because your parents got you here, you're a piece of shit. I grew up with a lot of people that live that way, and I hope that I'm able to help them before it is too late, because it's fucking ridiculous. Now, my issue is when they send kids up here because they think they can sneak in behind their kids. And we've had plenty of talks about this too, and we're not going to go into that. But if you are in a motor vehicle and you are under the influence, or you have warrants, or there's an issue and there's a child involved, you get pulled over, you broke a law, you're going to jail. They take you from your kids go to Child Protective Services, and you go to jail. Child Protective Services has rooms. Those rooms are they're the cages, right, for your kids until, you bail out or somebody picks up your kids. Nobody bats an eye at that. When these people come in, and by people I mean the immigrants that are coming up, not all of them are on the up and up. That's not my problem. I understand the desperation for you coming up here. What I'm trying to fix is how you get here so you don't have to do it that way. Because I feel like anybody that has to take that 3,000 fucking mile trip is brave and deserves something. But we need to do it right, because what they do is they send kids in droves. I mean, tons of kids. I fucking cried talking about this. There were 8 and 9-year-old kids on the side of a train from fucking Ecuador and Honduras just hauling ass all the way through Mexico. It was the scariest shit I ever seen in my fucking life. I got a 10-year-old now, and I got a baby that's even smaller than that. That scared the fuck out of me. But to think that people are in that bad of shape that they're willing to sacrifice their children, we need to fix that. Right? And maybe I'm not compassionate enough when I speak about this shit, because I thought it made sense. I'm not for illegal immigration. Neither should you. You should be for immigration, as in, legitimate immigration. And yes, we ask for you to come in our country and assimilate. That's okay. We want you to be like us. We want you to enjoy. It's like when people leave California because of their shitty laws, go somewhere else, and they try to take their shitty laws with them. If California sucks, don't bring California to Texas. You see what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. Let me say something too. For one, I'll never tell you how to feel. Let me stop that shit, because that pisses me off all the time when people are like, let me tell you what to look for and how to feel and how to this. No. But illegal's illegal. I don't care. I've been in trouble for doing illegal shit, and you just got to know the difference. And when it comes to immigration, when kids are involved, that fucks with me, and I don't play that shit. Old people and kids in my weak spot, I'm not okay with it. If they can't defend themselves, I got to be there to defend them, because that shit is crazy. Stop allowing these fucking people to tell you that Trump is putting kids in cages and kids are getting lost. You want to know what the real problem is? There's kids coming up here with no parents, no documents, no nothing. Nobody knows what to do, where to, there's no cell phones. Like, these kids are literally just coming up here by themselves on these buses, on these trains, in groups with no names. They barely speak any language, and they just get lost, because somebody was so desperate that they did the greatest sacrifice they could think of just sending off their child. That scares the fuck out of me, and I'm not okay with that. And whoever pays for that whole shit to happen should be in jail. That is ridiculous. You are against everything that has to do with coming to this country. We accept immigrants into this country when the time is right. People have to stop confusing one period and one time for every single thing that goes on in this country. Right now, we don't need no more people. We have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people that are homeless right now. 60,000 to almost 100,000 homeless people in California alone. That's not right. Until we can fix that problem, I don't think nobody else should come in here. Until Corona's over, I don't think any of the politicians should be paid. Until people are off unemployment, until everyone is back to normal, I don't think any of those people should have a leg up on us. The homeless situation, how can we fix it? I really don't know, but it's going to take a lot. We need to really, I laugh talking about being a parent, because this is probably the first time in us as men in the history of men that we've been able to express our feelings and not be looked at as a pussy per se for loving our kids. Because we grew up in a time, my grandfather was stern as fuck. I knew he loved me, bro. I knew he had a soft side, but that was just how they was brought up, was tough as fucking nails, right? So this is the one time where as a man and as a parent, you can be sensitive and be different with your children, where you don't have to be that aggressive, tough as nails parent, but you can teach those lessons because you learn them. And then you can put that you know, the love that you've been able to appreciate from, you know, your mother, your wife, your grandmother, and things of that nature. I have daughters, man. My daughters changed me. Like, I love my sons, but what my daughters did for me was definitely open my eyes to being more sensitive and being more delicate with a lot of things. And I only say that because this is the only time we've been able to do things how we do it. Like, we've been able to feel compassion without being talked about. We've been able to really express ourselves, and I mean, that's a phenomenal time period to be in. And here I go. This is why I want to talk about the fucking Kanye shit with Rogan. If y'all fucking let me, that'll be me the whole time. I just get the yapping about shit and I put it all together. And I don't even know why I was talking about that shit. But I'm looking at my babies right now, and I love my fucking babies, man. And I would never want to have my babies fucking be put in any position like that ever. And I'll sacrifice my life 10 times over to make sure that they have the best life that they could ever have. What I was trying to get to was mental health. Us having so many mental health issues in this country, types of demons. I get that, okay? My problem is you profited off the backs of Americans. And every day you keep pointing fingers at Trump and trying to shit on him for things that he hasn't done because of the shit you've done. It's not fair. Like, it's not, I get it. I was called a fucking house nigga for supporting Trump. I've been called a simp. I've been called a bitch. I've been called so many things that, first off, you wouldn't say to me in public because I'll break your fucking mouth. This shit is it's out of control. I get shit on Facebook all the time, and Facebook had the nerve to send me a thing because I fucking stood up for myself. They gonna block me and tell me to fuck off because of a comment that I made, because I'm tired of being berated. Like, why are you berating me for shit? I'm giving you facts. Donald Trump is doing 2 to 3 rallies in different cities and different states every day since the debate. Biden's been out twice. That's a fact. I get attacked for giving you facts of what's going on. Biden said poor kids should have the same opportunities as white kids. That's racist, dog. He said that weird ass shit about white kid or little black kids playing with the hairs on his leg. What kind of weirdo shit is that, bro? If Trump did anything like that, it would be the end of the fucking world, okay? I don't support a fucking weirdo. Please do not sit around at home thinking I'm supporting a racist. Okay, first off, my wife is half black. She's Creole. So if you know what Creole is, they're black French. So she ain't really have anything because she's Irish, French, black. She's a mix. So all my children are mixed, very mixed. Half Puerto Rican, half black, Mexican, and then my daughters who are half black Irish, and my youngest son who's half black Irish and Puerto Rican, so quarter, whatever. Maybe the math was wrong. They're all half Puerto Rican, and then a little bit of everything else from their mothers. And I would, goddamn, what the fuck do I look like supporting the racist? Are you crazy? Like, I've looked up to Donald Trump my whole life, bro. Like, that dude was like the epitome of fucking success in New York. And when you read his book and you see what he's done, it's amazing to see where he's come from. You know, it's a shame that people cannot see that he earned his way up. Take it how you want to take it. He came out the mud. It's like, are you going to shit on LeBron's son? And I always use LeBron because I look up to LeBron. I respect what LeBron has done money-wise. And I hope that if his son says, hey, Dad, I want to do something, I hope LeBron runs over there and invests 10 times over for his son. So are you going to shit on Little Bron for that? That's all I'm saying, because y'all shit on Trump, but it's like, you're not going to help your own kid? Like, stop. That shit's crazy. You know, when I say that Trump's brought more jobs to this country than Obama and Biden, well, the fact of the matter was, when Obama and Biden was in office, half of the country was on food stamps. It was handled worse than the Great Depression. They told us it's not unemployment, it's fun employment. Things aren't going to go back to normal. With deregulation, see, we were under crippling fucking laws and crippling regulations that wouldn't allow businesses to grow. And because of shit like the Paris Accord and the trade deals that we had that were fucking killing us and ruining. I mean, do you remember a point in time when you called customer service and you couldn't understand the person on the other line? That wasn't too long ago. It's finally getting better. Still a little rough, but getting better. We had companies leaving because they couldn't afford to pay taxes here. It's not competitive here. You know, it's a global market. So if it's a global market, why aren't we competitive? Especially here where we've basically developed what it should look like to have a free market. until the government starts to overreach and get into our shit. For Biden to come out and say he's going to tax $400,000. If you make $400,000, they're going to tax you. That's defeatism. They're letting you know that you're never going to make $400,000 a year, so you don't have to worry about it. You're going to be a poor piece of shit for the rest of your life. That's all they're saying. How are you allowing that shit? How is it okay for him to say, you're never going to make any money? We're going to help you fight for $15 an hour because you ain't going to make no money. You ain't going to be shit and you need us. We want to give you insurance because you're never going to be able to afford insurance. What kind of shit is that? Why am I conservative? Because I believe in you putting in what you get out. If you work hard, you should live great. I believe in less government. Let us make our own decisions. Let us live our own lives. Right now with the whole mask situation and how they're treating us, it's pretty much it's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen. We can jump out of a plane right now and you can't say, I can kill myself right now out of a plane. You can't say shit to me, but I can't go outside without the mask thing. That's not that I'm not a believer of the mask. I feel like in certain situations, if I want to wear it, if I feel like I should wear it, that's on me. If I see like 2 or 3 people coughing, I might put the mask on. But if nobody around me is coughing, everybody looks okay, that ain't for me to be wearing a mask. That's just me. I don't even want to get into that because I don't want to get banned or some shit. But the overreach, the government overreach is what scares the fuck out of me. Like if you ever file that paperwork, which is dreadful as fuck, but when you got to file for like food stamps, bro, they ask you what kind of car you got. What's your license plate number? What year? How many miles? What kind of wheels you got on that bitch? That shit is the most fucking invasive shit you've ever fucking had to deal with. And it's embarrassing and it hurts and it's demeaning. It's like, what does it matter? Like, what if I work? Like, money doesn't last forever, and there's ups and downs, especially being an entrepreneur like myself. I've never had a regular job, so my money, I could be a millionaire one month and be dead broke the next. That shit happens. It really does. I mean, and it's the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, and vice versa. Like, you can take a giant risk and just fucking fall all over yourself. I've been hitting everything. What's going on, beautiful people? My name's Kasabian Lavoe. Kanye was on Rogan, and that shit was dope. I appreciate Kanye. I miss Kanye. I hate how people talk about Kanye. I understood him like you wouldn't believe. And I think my show is kind of like Kanye every day. I think some of my fans could agree. I'm all over the place like bat shit. I'm all over the place like bird shit. That's how my brain works, man. I'm always looking at shit 13 different ways, trying to give it to you as best I can, and I'm all over the place. So watching Kanye, I know some people might think Kanye was crazy. That was the most beautiful shit I ever heard. It was awesome. I don't think he's ready for president, just being honest. There's a certain something he's missing. But I'm going to be honest, it ain't my vote. I can't give it to him yet. I don't think Kanye's going to understand the... Kanye won't understand how to handle confrontation, with people that don't agree with him or that don't allow him to express himself. The biggest problem that Trump has right now is he's a businessman who says, let's find the best way to do something and let's get it done. And because of the way politics is set up so that we can have checks and balances, things are a little bit harder, but we do have a fucking issue with politics on getting shit done. And there's certain upgrades I would like to see be made, but at the same time, I'm okay with it this way because it does keep a lot of bullshit from happening. Unfortunately, having somebody like Kanye who would want to get shit done immediately, I think even more so than Trump, he might have a bigger issue. But I'm interested. I would like to see him sit down with more politicians and learn and see what he says and see what kind of policies he can come up with and see if they are something that we as a people could really stand by and support a Kanye ticket. 2020, I'm not voting for him 2020. We are in a position right now where our country can make changes that will last us at least 50 to 60 fucking years, hopefully. Biden would roll that shit back almost instantaneously and fucking ruin us. Kanye, on the other hand, I need more. I don't hear enough. I hear a lot of talking, but I don't hear enough, just being honest. I want to know economically where we stand. I want to know where we stand globally. How does he feel about all that? Does he really understand what, the gimmick is with climate change? Because it's not about climate change not happening or happening. I don't believe in global warming. I believe in climate change, meaning I believe in like seasons. I feel like the earth just goes through seasons. Like we had an ice age and it's going to get hot. It's going to get kind of real nice and it's going to get a little rainy and shit. I don't know. Like, like it just changes. Like how come nobody batted an eye at the fucking ice age? Like I just don't feel like it's such a big deal. I think it's just something we got to live with. But I do see a plot to take our money by basically making it seem like every single problem in the fucking world is America's. That's an issue to me. It's a fucking issue. Like, and there's always a price tag. Like, why is there always a fucking price tag? Is it only me or is that shit phenomenal that there's always a price tag to fix something? And we always fit the bill. Like, if it wasn't for Trump, we'd still be paying billions of dollars to countries around the world for shit. Like, the whole fucking... I'm not even going to talk about it because they might boot me for that shit. But I'm going to tell you this. The fucking World Health Organization, as much money as we paid them fucking people for the bullshit they putting us through, is beyond me. It's beyond me. And just look into it. These are all facts, man. America's been giving up money like crazy for no fucking reason. Look, if we wouldn't have won World War II, we wouldn't be in this position. And even if we wouldn't have won, I still think we'd be able to fucking bounce back and kick their ass in World War 2.1 or some shit. Like, I ain't see us losing. I don't think that's a thing for us. We got too much heart. You understand that when America was built, they literally said, we're sick and tired of this bullshit. We heading the fuck out. Wherever we land. Kiss our ass. We gonna figure this out. Take it how you want to take it and how they got here. There was people already here, but our forefathers came here and made it better. The only difference between Puerto Ricans and black slaves was that Puerto Ricans was brought here on an airplane and the black slave trade was on boats. They fucked us too. I want to look into see how I can find out about Puerto Ricans being ADOS, because I think that's the thing. But if you don't know what ADOS is, do your research. That's why we do this show, so you can look into your own shit and find out what's going on. But I mean, I got a ton of information to give. You willing to take it? I'll just be all over the place. So if you can hang with me, you can get it. Let me see. But that was it. We touched on everything. Make sure you head over to Popl, popl.co. Y'all want to do this again since we did it early and I don't even like the little thing. Here, let me tell the cookies people. Can y'all see it? Hey yo, cookies, we gonna need this indoor. The greenhouse is cool, but we need this indoor. Y'all made it to the show. This flavor right here, schmrack. I fuck with it. Yeah. See? Let me just tag them. Let me show you how to make money too, right? Let's say you at home and you be posting shit all day. Hold on. Let's say you be posting shit all day and you have a decent little following. Hit them up and ask them to fucking pay you for it. Don't be afraid to do that type of shit. I think I'm gonna start coming on once a week just to stream without the podcast, talk about business stuff, and depending how good, fuck it, we put on a podcast. Like, I miss doing my little business gigs. It's just like right now we're like politicked up. The elections are coming, and once that shit's over, I would love to get back into business, chit chats with my fans and with my people. Is there any new business? Right now, honestly, because of Corona, I can't even think of any advice to give. I would love to know what people are doing, and I would love to talk about how we could grow it and make it bigger. So if you have any suggestions, comment below. Oh, yeah, like and subscribe since we're on YouTube. I'm not good at saying that. I mean, if you made it this far, thank you. Like, subscribe. Go to KayLavo.com. Check out the merch. Follow the page on Facebook. It's the Kasabian Lavoe Show. Instagram, Kasabian Lavoe. Kasabian Lavoe Show. Like, subscribe, share, tell people about it. Talk shit about me. I'm cool with that. Just get it out there. We just want to get it out there. It's Vegas. It's a tipping thing. We're going to have some cool little shit on the screen, like right in this area or some shit. We're working on it. I like the streaming thing. I think it's cool. I just, hopefully I could build this audience. And me and Mandy got some shit coming, so it's going to get fun. We started shooting last week for our other show. So once all the editing starts going on that and I'm a little bit closer and we have like a trailer, I'll bring that up. Besides that, man, look, I appreciate y'all. We'll talk more about Philly when we find out what's going on, but it ain't looking good in Philly. I'm going to say that right now. Never live in the past, live in the moment.